Titans, go!
Hello, Titans fans. Welcome back to Titan Talk, the Titans podcast. Back once again. I know it's been a while, so we're going to have to brush off the dust. I'm Charles Skaggs, and with me is my fellow Titan Talker and one of my best friends, Jesse Jackson.
Hey, Charles. Yes, it has been a while. I like to think of it as we are kind of just hoarding or gathering data so that we can have a significant length of discussion to talk about.
Okay. So,
yeah.
you chalk it up to just we're accumulating
Yes.
things to talk about. Okay.
Yeah, because we are getting closer and closer
Yes.
to this becoming a reality, and we continue to get information out on not a fast pace, but a pretty steady pace.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's good that we've been able to check in with everybody every so often. Hopefully, you guys out there are still listening to us. We definitely appreciate that. And please spread the word to your fellow fans and anyone you think might be interested. We definitely would appreciate that. As we get ready, we're gearing up right now, and we've finally have a actual target date, so we might as well just jump right into that.
I think so.
Okay, so obviously the big news came out this past week during the DC Daily never-ending live stream hosted by Kevin Smith. If you happen to check that out, it was supposed to last an hour and a half, and I gave up after 2 hours. And apparently it went to like 2 hours, 30 minutes. So they were a bit chatty on that one. But they did have a lot of guest stars, and there's only so much infomercial I can take.
Kevin Smith can talk.
Yes. But he wasn't overly chatty. It was just more like there was just all this stuff going on.
Okay.
Because John Barrowman sat in, so obviously we're fans because of his appearing on Doctor Who and Torchwood and Arrow. And he's always fun to watch. I could watch John Barrowman just host his own show. I would have been happy with that.
Absolutely.
All right. So big news. Obviously, we got the launch date for DC Universe, the digital service. Going to be launching on Saturday, September 15th. So just like 2 weeks away from yesterday, as we're recording this, because we're recording this on September 2nd, 2018. So fingers crossed that it doesn't get overloaded and the servers go down. So we'll find out if everybody crashes the servers. I guess it's a good thing that they're doing this now before the Titans launch in October. And obviously we got the launch date for Titans finally. And Titans apparently is going to debut on Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018 at the 2018 New York Comic-Con.
Nice.
So they get those little lucky bastards. They get a little preview of Titans before the rest of us, unless somebody is kind enough to like illegally record that and upload it. But the actual official launch on DC Universe will be on Friday, October 12th, 2018. So just over a month until Titans finally launches, and you and I will get to start recording on a weekly basis, Jesse.
Now, yes. Have we heard, are they doing the Netflix model, dumping them all, or will they be releasing them once a week?
Yeah, apparently they're going to be following the more Hulu model with releasing once a week.
Okay.
So, as was explained during the live stream, the series is going to be 12 episodes long, not 13 like originally thought.
Okay.
Um, and it's going to be new episodes releasing every Friday.
Okay.
So we'll begin on October 12th, and then we'll get October 19th, October 26th, etc.
Well, that's very convenient for us because that way we should be able to see it, if
Right.
not on Friday, Saturday, and then record on Sundays.
Yes, I was just thinking that yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll probably be doing our Sunday recordings a couple of days. That actually gives us a couple of days to prepare and
Yeah.
get our thoughts together and do some better analysis as opposed to
Yes.
just like hurrying up and getting those out. So um, yeah, so we'll have like a 2-day turnaround. So we'll try and get these out in a timely fashion, obviously,
Yeah.
as long as everything goes okay in our personal lives.
Knock on wood. Yes.
Knock on wood, exactly, because hey, yeah, everything always goes great in everybody's life, just like according to plan, right?
Absolutely. I
So,
tell
so
you,
are you excited,
I am
Jesse?
very excited. I have already giving a little bit of scene that probably is minutia to other people. I have a nice TV in my living room, but it only has two HDMI ports.
Okay,
So it's several years old. So I have one for my FiOS cable box, and
right.
then one for my old Blu-ray player
Okay,
that does allow me to get to Amazon Direct and Netflix, but it doesn't any of the other apps.
right.
So I bought a Google Cast.
Okay,
So
Chromecast.
yeah, Chromecast. So that way I said, okay, well I can pull it up on my
Right.
iPad, cast it, but I don't have another HDMI port. So today
Yeah.
from Amazon is a HDMI splitter
Splitter. Yeah, splitter.
so that I'm able to go and manually push, like, I want to use the Chromecast or I want to use the Blu-ray player so that way I can watch it on the big screen.
There you go.
I'm
Very nice.
very, very excited.
Hopefully the DC Universe supports Chromecast
Yeah, I would think it would be. And I think that's going to be,
because I have
um,
Chromecast as well.
yeah,
But so yeah, hopefully because that would be nice to be able to just throw it up there.
yeah,
Otherwise, um, I can just plug in. I have a laptop that I
yeah,
could just plug with an HDMI port that I could just plug in um, using a dual end HDMI cable
yeah,
to stream it that way.
yes. So anyway, I am so
But obviously, I
excited.
prefer the Chromecast. Yeah.
Yeah, I am so excited about after hearing all the latest news we've gotten, and especially the trailer that we are
Yes.
going to talk about this time, I am much more. I, I was already amped up because one, it's the Titans. Two, as we've explained before, this is full circle for us.
Right.
I mean, it just seems like our true best destiny to be talking Teen Titans on a
Yes.
podcast.
Right.
It
We were
and
destined for this.
we were destined for this, but now then, when you see what they're at least trying to do, it just seems amazing.
Yeah. Um, so speaking of said trailer,
Hmm.
this trailer came out on July 19th, 2018, just after we had recorded episode 6, of course.
Right.
So we had to kind of like wait for a few more things to talk about because this trailer was like 1 minute 45 seconds, and I think we can go ahead and run it down,
Yeah.
break it down. Um, but yeah, so we just kind of missed the cutoff of our previous episode. So now, and I know it's been a while, but you finally get to get our thoughts on this trailer, the rather controversial trailer.
Well, first thing I want to ask you: are you surprised it was controversial?
Given the content, no.
Okay.
I was surprised at the delivery of the trailer. I was kind of thought it would be a little more mainstream accessible,
Hmm.
and especially for considering there's a lot of fans of the Titans that started watching with the Cartoon Network series,
Yeah.
the original Teen Titans cartoon, and then from 2003, I believe, and then the later Teen Titans Go. Although a lot of the fans of the original Teen Titans cartoon hate Teen Titans Go, but that's where a lot of younger fans, their exposure to the Titans comes from, not the comics so much,
Right.
but from the cartoon, because obviously that's more mainstream. So yeah, I'm a little kind of surprised that this trailer does kind of, because we get even they open this trailer up with like a TVMA warning of explicit language, adult themes, and violence that may not be suitable for those under 18.
And um, I think that is a bold move.
Right.
You want to, I think.
I mean, I have nothing against the content, but
Oh no, in fact, as we get into this, we'll probably over talk about this
right.
as we are prone to do. But I was surprised, one, that they didn't make it a little more broad reaching.
Right.
You
So
know,
you're
yeah,
kind of along with me that it wasn't more mainstream in appeal.
yeah, exactly. Now,
Yeah.
I personally loved it and was surprised at the amount of adults I've talked to.
Right.
Um, you know, we both do other podcasts, but
Yes.
I do. Um, I talk to a wide range of people on my music podcasts, so it's a rotating set of guests, and many of them have shared they were comic fans, and
Okay.
a couple of them had said, "Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if I'm ready for something that adult."
Right.
And I'm like, "You're 48." Like,
Well,
so
I think with the Titans, people have this perception that they're younger characters, so it should have that more all ages appeal, I think.
yeah,
That's my take on it. Now like there's some shows that feature teen superheroes like that have been out recently, like Cloak and Dagger and Runaways, that have teenagers dealing with more mature themes.
so I have not watched Runaways yet, but I am about halfway through Cloak and Dagger.
Right.
And I agree with your assessment. You had told me a few episodes ago that either on this one or Doctor Who
Right.
that you thought I'd love it, and I am. I mean, it
Okay,
is
good.
really very different, but
Yeah, and
I like it a lot.
I think if you like Cloak and Dagger, you also like Runaways.
Good.
So they're both very much in that same young adult novel type
Yeah.
approach. So, um, but for Titans, as we get back to this,
Yes.
um, yeah, I was a little surprised because I was when the trailer was released. I'm big on Twitter, as a lot of people know, if you follow me, and I was gauging the reaction. I was doing the searching the hashtags to kind of get a feel for the general reaction, and from what I saw, about I want to say maybe 3/4 or 3/5 of the people reaction was negative to this trailer, with maybe 1/4 to 2/5 positive about it. So I thought it was I think it was a rather generally I think it was a disappointing reaction. And I'm trying not to be negative here because I want to be positive. But when this is like this trailer was the first real big taste of your new service, I thought it was a very poor execution on DC Universe's part
Yeah.
to have something that was created such a mixed reaction.
Yeah, and you wonder, is their target who is their target audience? Who are they
Right,
wanting to subscribe to this service?
right,
Very clearly, um, CBS, their all access,
right,
did, they're two big heavy hitters. The spinoff of The Good Wife, so that's
right,
going for people who love drama.
Right.
good acting, a great storytelling, and then they did Star Trek, which
Discovery,
yeah,
yeah.
Discovery. So they were definitely going for a broad range of audience. You know,
Well, and I think DC Universe is going to be doing that too because you're going to have shows like Swamp Thing,
yeah.
for the more horror type stuff,
Hmm.
and then you're going to have Doom Patrol for the weird type stuff, and then you're going to have Stargirl, which is going
Yeah.
to be a much more geared toward younger audience.
So maybe they are trying to
But I think they want Titans to be the big first buzzworthy show right out of the gate, the one that's going to be getting people talking.
so is there
That's my take on it anyway.
aiming for maybe some of the Watchmen audience? That kind of
Possibly.
yeah.
I think that's yeah. I think it's just more like, well, I mean, this trailer has a very dark feel to it. This, from what I gather, seems to be very much in the vein of the Zack Snyder DC extended universe films. Like
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman, and what he originally shot for Justice League before Joss Whedon was brought in to replace him.
Yes.
As so, um, which had received some criticism, especially Batman versus Superman, for being just way too dark and way too grim dark, as the popular kids term these days.
Yeah.
Um, so I think this trailer feels like that at least the DC universe people haven't quite appreciated the tone deafness that those Zack Snyder films received, because remember the response when Wonder Woman's movie came out, that
Yes.
like, oh, finally we get a movie that's like not, just so grim and depressing. It's just that we get some actual heroism in this, and it was just a bright spot.
Yeah.
So it just feels like, yeah, that and it seems like that the DC films have kind of started to kind of turn the corner on that because of Wonder Woman, because of the positive reaction. But here it just feels like the DC Universe people didn't really learn the lessons of Batman versus Superman, to me.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go through. I know you have done this on your blog of Geeky
Right.
Things,
Yes.
but
Yeah,
so
I
you've
did a trailer breakdown, which I copied for notes for this.
yeah, so
So
since you've done the heavy
yeah,
lifting,
yeah, I did the heavy lift.
let's go through that, and then we'll stop as we go through things and go
Yeah,
from
yeah,
there. Does that sound
yeah.
good?
Feel free to just stop me and say, hey, look, yeah, let's talk about this. All right, so let's break this down. So the trailer opens with Rachel or Raven slash Rachel Roth, played by Tegan Croft, who's apparently in some form of dream or mindscape. We're not quite sure. As she walks into the big tent at the Haley Circus. So right off the bat, we get the Haley Circus from Robin slash Nightwing lore, which is nice. And she's calling out to someone that might be there. We hear a scream, the lights snap on, and there's like a big electronic sign that says the Flying Graysons. So at least in this dreamscape, perhaps flashback sequence, we get at least we're going to probably get a nod to the Flying Graysons, Dick Grayson's parents, and
Yes.
who were aerialists until they were murdered by, at least in the comics, Tony Zuko. And an ominous voice asks Raven, "Who are you?" But we, of course, being a teaser trailer, we don't really find out who's saying that.
Yeah.
And then we cut to a police station. We see Raven's talking with Grayson, Dick Grayson, who's apparently a police detective because
Now,
he's wearing a uniform like he was when he was a cop in the Nightwing comics by Chuck Dixon.
what did you think of our first? And if you want me to, if we want to save this and kind of talk impressions, but I want us to talk about your thought of seeing this guy as Dick Grayson.
Brenton Thwaites, you're talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah. I think physically he pulls it off. I mean, I have no problem with his casting.
Yeah.
I think that physically he could. He's obviously portraying an older Robin in this. That's kind of getting ready to break from Batman and presumably become Nightwing
Yeah.
later on. Maybe by the end of the season, who knows?
He
And go ahead.
no, he looked a little young as
Right.
a detective, but
Yes. Yeah.
not unbelievably young. In other words, I could see
Yeah.
that him looking fresh faced and the idea of getting harassed because he
Right.
got promoted so soon. I liked
Yeah. I'm
his
hoping. I'm hoping we get some explanation for being police detective at that age.
yeah, and I
Like maybe he was just so obviously talented that they
yeah,
decided to promote him early.
and I can imagine that one of the things that I would have done if I was writing the story is to have, and maybe this is cliche, but the idea of his his adopted father, or or his um, whatever Bruce Wayne is in this universe to
Yeah.
him, that did he get special treatments because he is
Oh,
from
like
wealth?
favoritism because of
Yeah,
who his relationship with Bruce Wayne.
yeah,
That's possible.
yeah,
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, we get an explanation for that. That would be nice.
yeah. But I thought he carried himself well, and I looked the little bit I saw, I thought this is um, something that I might have wanted Gotham to be more like.
Right.
Gotham became very campy
Yes.
very
I mean,
quickly.
yeah. And that is one thing that I do appreciate. That yeah, it doesn't appear to be as campy as
Right.
Gotham. So if you're worried about the campiness factor, I don't think I don't think we're getting campy here.
No, I don't either.
So yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
So as Raven says to Grayson, everything led me here to you, and she comforts his hand with her own. She says, "You're the boy from the circus." So apparently, Raven has been either tapping into Dick Grayson's dreams or his memories. We don't know which yet,
Hmm.
but presumably that's what's going on here. And then we flash back to images of the Flying Graysons falling to their deaths after their trapeze snaps, which is followed by an angry Dick Grayson hurling an R-shaped shuriken. That's for throwing star for you non-Japanese movie aficionados, into a wall. So we see that Dick Grayson in this, at least in this series, is very angry, which
Yes.
seems very anti-Grayson to me. Like it seems more like Jason Todd to me than it does Dick Grayson.
Though we do remember from the comics when he and Batman had the breakup, there was
They
some,
fought with each other,
yeah,
but
there was some angst, and so maybe they're just taking this a little bit um,
further,
amping for the drama effect.
yeah. Well, obviously, we haven't seen the pilot yet, so yeah,
Right.
context I think is everything.
I agree.
So we'll see. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt here.
Yes.
Uh, Raven continues. She says, "Please, can you help me?" And then next we see Robin. We cut to Robin landing on a car from above as he's fighting crime. Confronts a gang of criminals in an alleyway. And this is probably the most controversial point of the trailer, where one of the criminals asks, "Where's Batman?" And just before Robin takes a gun from one of the criminals and then shoots three of them. So for some reason, Robin is killing people. And then he steps hard on the neck of another. And we know he's stepping on the neck because we hear bones breaking, which I thought was a very gratuitous, in my opinion, and presumably kills him in the process. And at that moment, Robin replies to the criminal, "F Batman." And I'm obviously censoring it here, but they
Yes.
don't censor it in the
They do
trailer.
not.
So, but for the delicate ears of our editor Rob Southgate, I will just
Yes.
censor it here for that sake. Um, And we get the impression that, well, Batman's probably not going to approve of Dick Grayson using guns and killing people and stepping on their necks, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I
So
have.
why is Dick Grayson killing people?
Yeah, that I have a problem with.
Yeah, I have a
Um,
major problem with that. I mean,
I
if he wants to, drop the F-bomb on Batman, okay, I can let that slide. Even
yeah,
though, again, it's very uncharacteristic of Dick Grayson that we
yes,
know.
but I would be okay with that.
Yeah,
But once again, as you said, context is everything.
right.
So we don't know what's going on, so I could be okay
He's
with that.
obviously angry at Batman for something.
Right.
Yes.
But
But
and
killing people, I think, is just too
yes,
far.
I agree. I am.
And this is what got a lot of people upset on Twitter about this.
Yeah, I know one of the things that has bothered some of us longtime comic book fans is Superman doesn't kill.
Right.
Batman doesn't kill. There is that code that you do not.
Right.
And to have Robin,
Right.
many of us, a favorite character of just the DC universe, period.
Right.
To have him killing people, and I still am in denial that, well, he shot them in the leg or something.
Right.
And I realize that may be unrealistic, but
But how do you get around stepping on the guy's neck? We actually see his boot on the guy's neck, and we hear a
yeah,
crunching sound. That's the
yes,
if you want to explain away the gunshots, I could kind of see that,
right.
but the stepping on the neck part,
Yeah, no, you're right there.
yeah,
I agree.
I don't know how you get around that unless you just. I'm hoping that the Titans people, they kind of see the reaction from fans and kind of like, we'll just cut this out. This part never happened, or we'll re-edit it so that it doesn't come off as fatal.
Yeah, and what unlike some of our brothers and sisters, I
Right.
will wait to hold judgment till I
Right.
see everything.
Right. And then
Because
again, context is everything. So yes.
context is everything.
So
But
yeah.
that does give me a little, I'll be watching
Right.
with a concern.
Right. A little guarded concern on this.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely.
That's that. And I'm in the same boat. Obviously, I'm going to be watching, and we'll obviously when the first episode airs, we'll talk about this much more in detail. So yes, we're both going to be watching, but it is something that I think to be concerned about. And again, um, it makes me wonder why DC Universe thought this was a good way to roll out everyone's first taste of what their service is going to provide.
I do not agree with this thought, but
It seems like a very poor, like a
yeah.
complete marketing misfail to me.
But here's my my shot at trying to put my thoughts where they might be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got those DC fanatics. They ain't gonna watch no matter what. But we
Right.
need to get some of those other people, the people that
Right.
think comics are
For kids.
wussified.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I think maybe it's just, playing to that Zack Snyder audience a little bit. But, yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it's something that at least for the moment be a little concerned about. But
Absolutely.
we should, I think everybody should just kind of take a pause and to wait for the actual pilot to come out and then pass final judgment then.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and we'll see what we get. So we cut to Raven at this point, whose eyes grow dark as she uses her powers and is shown attacking someone. And she makes the comment, "There is something evil inside of me."
Now, I was impressed with her, what little bit we saw so far.
Right. Yeah,
She seemed to have a little something.
Yeah, and they seem to be playing up the fact that Raven has the darkness that we know from the comics because of Trigon's influence over her, being the daughter of Trigon. So I'm kind of wondering, obviously, that they're going to be using this as the story progresses and building up, hopefully, to Trigon. So we'll see. Grayson replies reassuringly, "You're scared, I get it, but you can control it." Not sure how he knows that yet, but Okay. And then we cut to, we see glimpses of Beast Boy, played by Ryan Potter, and Starfire, played by Anna Diop, using their powers. And then we get a different scene of Grayson telling someone, "You don't know what I've become," as we see Robin along with Hawk and Dove, played by Alan Richardson and Minka Kelly, brutally fighting criminals. And I want to say brutally, especially in the case of Dove. And this is again where where I had a little bit of concern, because Dove is supposed to be a pacifistic character, and here
Yes.
she is clawing a dude's face with her talons.
Yeah.
So I thought that again, that was very uncharacteristic of Dove to see her that brutal. But again, context is everything, so we'll see. Hawk makes perfect sense because Hawk is the chaos to Dove's order, and Hawk is traditionally brutal, so it makes perfect sense for Hawk, but not so much, in my opinion, for Dove.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
gonna have to see what they're trying to do with that.
although their costumes look great.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I think from what we could tell, they spent the money on Robin, Hawk, and Dove's costumes, which is why we've seen a lot of their artwork, the promotional shots early, I think.
Yes.
A young man and woman appear to knock Hank unconscious, and a mysterious man with blood all over his mouth gazes upward. So I'm not sure what that's about. Raven, we get a voiceover from her. It says, "Sometimes when I feel the darkness, it feels good." So she seems tempted by her darkness. And again, we see Dove using her talons on some bad guy's face as another bad guy gets yanked up above by a rope. And then in another scene, we have Raven and Dick Grayson in a car with Grayson driving. He says, "My mom says there's no such thing as Oh, I'm sorry. Raven says, "My mom says there's no such thing as monsters." And Grayson replies, "I used to think that," as we see dark smoke enveloping Raven in a separate scene. And Grayson says, "I was wrong." And then Raven screams, and then the picture shatters into the new series logo, which instead of that kind of graffiti style logo, that blue graffiti style logo we saw, now appears to be based on the design of the 1980s New Teen Titans logo, which I think looks a lot better.
Yes, I
I was
agree.
very happy to see that new logo. And that's pretty much the trailer. So, so again, what's your overall thoughts on this trailer?
I liked it.
You're okay with it?
I'm okay with this. I was, as we talked about, I'm a little disturbed with the idea that Robin would kill someone,
Right,
but everything else was just spot on. It was serious. It
right,
was it seemed to be setting up a good storyline.
right.
Um
I like the fact that of the interaction between Dick Grayson and Raven.
mhm.
I think it's interesting that kind of like in the New Teen Titans comics by Wolfman and Perez, that Grayson was the first one that Raven reached out to,
Yeah.
and I think that's key.
I think it's very key.
I think because in the comics, uh, Raven is the one who brings the New Teen Titans together
Mhm.
to because the Justice League, as we find out, turning her away and not helping her with the looming threat of Trigon. So she brings the Titans together, and I think Raven's a good character for that as well in the TV show
Yeah.
to connect everybody because of the way her powers work.
Yeah, I like it a lot, and we didn't get to see a lot because we still wanted to know about what Starfire is going to look like and how they're going
Right.
to do that. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
But
I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get more of Starfire and Beast Boy.
yes,
We still haven't seen Beast Boy use his powers yet, so we don't know what that's going to look like yet. But maybe that again, that's something they're saving for when the pilot comes out.
Yeah, so it certainly did what I want to do. What I think a trailer should do is get you excited about seeing the show.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
and I know that it was. I specifically watched it multiple times.
Right.
I watched it again before because I knew we were going to talk about it, and I haven't been tired of it. I've just it was good.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what we get in the final product. But we'll see because I know that some people had expressed like, well, I was going to sign up for this service, but now, no, not really.
Yeah.
Like they were very that let down by the trailer. Hopefully, word of mouth might change that. I hope DC Universe better hope so. Anyway,
Yes.
if they want this to really take off, so we'll
Yes.
see. So fingers crossed for something that we can all appreciate.
I agree.
So, all right. Now, we also got a bunch of casting information last time between our last episode and now. So I want to run that down really quickly. Um, as far as Titans goes, we got a word that in addition to the modern Dove, Dawn Granger, played by Minka Kelly, we're going to get to see the original Dove, Don Hall, Hank's brother, who ends up getting killed, presumably, like he was in the comics. He's going to be played by an actor named Elliot Knight, according to a website called Super Bro Movies. So this isn't officially confirmed yet, but um, there hasn't been any like um, pushback against it either. So seems likely.
Okay.
And um, Elliot Knight, apparently he's been in a series called Life Sentence, and uh, this original Dove, Don Hall, will only appear in flashbacks. So probably, presumably, we'll get a little backstory with how the original Dove died and Hawk's reaction to that, losing his brother. But Elliot Knight was also known for appearing in shows like Once Upon a Time and How to Get Away with Murder. And like I said, was his most recent series was CW's Life Sentence. So if you're wondering about him. And then switching over to the Doom Patrol spin-off series, we kind of got a big Titans connection with this series because as we know, we've talked about that Cyborg is going to be kind of the liaison character that kind of connects both the Titans series and Doom Patrol. And Cyborg has been cast with an actor named Joyvan Wade, who Jesse and I are a little bit familiar with from his appearances on Doctor Who, where he
Yes.
played Rigsy in the Doctor Who episodes Flatline and Face the Raven. And he was the kind of graffiti artist guy that Clara kind of pals around with, Clara Oswald. And
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, we liked that actor a lot. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, he's very likable. This
He is.
character, this actor, I should say, and Cyborg is described here as the quote charming and sarcastic half-human, half-machine known as Cyborg. Vic may be connected to every computer in the world, but he struggles to maintain the connections that make him human. Desperate to gain acceptance from the outside world, Vic harnesses the curse of his cybernetic body and uses his powers as the ultimate hero for the digital age.
Yes.
So it's kind of exciting that we just saw Cyborg on the big screen not too long ago, but he's also going to be appearing on the small screen here on Doom Patrol. So that's
Yes.
kind of exciting. Um, and kind of staying in that cybernetic superhero role. A rather pretty notable actor got cast as Robot Man for the Doom Patrol spinoff. They've recast it. It was played by Jake Michaels, who's going to be playing in the Titans episode, but in the actual Doom Patrol spinoff, they recast it with Brendan Fraser,
Yeah.
who, if you remember, obviously best known as Rick O'Connell in the Mummy trilogy, and has appeared in a bunch of other movies: Encino Man, School Ties,
Yeah.
George of the Jungle, Dudley Do-Right, Gods and Monsters, Looney Tunes Back in Action, Monkey Bone, The 2008 Journey to the Center of the Earth, etc., etc.
Yeah, he's a very likable actor. Very happy to see him. I think he'll do well on this.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
because for a while there, his career kind of faded
right.
uh, toward the like around the 2010s. So it's kind of
Hmm.
nice that he's making his comeback a little bit. And Robot Man is described here as a former race car driver. Cliff Steele was in a horrific accident that left his body uninhabitable. Cliff's brain was saved by the mysterious Dr. Niles Calder, and he lives on in a powerful robotic body.
Yes.
So we get the classic hero, Robot Man. And there's apparently been some leaked photos of the upcoming Doom Patrol production. So what's going to happen though is Brendan isn't going to be physically playing Robot Man. There's going to be like a different actor physically portraying him, but um, Brendan Fraser will play Cliff Steele, and he's also going to be voicing the character.
Interesting. Good.
Yes, so probably because maybe he figured, well, I don't want to be in all that big robot suit
Right.
physically, I'm guessing. And then if you're a Firefly fan, you may be a bit excited about this bit of news.
Yes.
Alan Tudyk, I think that's how you pronounce it. Is it Tudyk or Tudyk? Um, has been cast as the big bad of the Doom Patrol, Mr. Nobody. And I'm very excited about this because obviously Tudyk, best known as Hoban Washburn on the Fox series Firefly, and its film sequel Serenity. Remember, he's a leaf on the wind. Watch
Yes,
how he
he
soars.
is.
So break out the tissues for that. And he's also best known as the voice of the droid K2SO in the movie Rogue One: A Star Wars Story.
Hmm.
But he's been in a ton of other things. He's been in Deadpool 2. He voiced Superman in the Justice League War animated movie. He's been 310 to Yuma, the 2007 version, obviously. A Knight's Tale. He's got a big role in A Knight's Tale. Um, Moana, Zootopia, Maze Runner to the Scorch Trials, Wreck-It Ralph, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, Transformers, a bunch of other things. And of course, he's known for like he's done a bunch of TV. Um, he played Bruce Wayne's cousin Van on Powerless, the short-lived NBC series.
Which was not as bad as some people say it. I guess,
I watched 3 episodes and then I bailed on it.
yeah,
I
I
gave
don't
up. I
think
tried.
I don't think it was great,
Yeah.
but there was enough in there that I enjoyed it. So
I
yeah,
think given the talent involved, I think the writing should have been better.
yes, now I will give that. Yes,
Yeah, I think the talent was there, but the execution wasn't there, in my
right.
opinion. Um, he's also like been on the 2017 Tick series, the Tick, and he's also on BBC America's Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
Yes,
Uh, done voices for Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, Suburgatory, Family Guy, Young Justice. He played Barry Allen, the Flash, on Batman and Brave and the Bold. He did that.
nice.
And he was also on Dollhouse, if you
Yes,
remember that series, but another series by Joss Whedon. And he was on the 2009 remake of V.
yes,
So Arrested Development, Frasier. So yeah. So obviously, dude has a wide
yeah.
repertoire.
Very, very, very,
And I'm looking forward to hear him as Mr. Nobody.
and very funny in the video direct internet con man that
Okay.
him and Nathan Fillion did together, which
Okay,
is
I haven't seen that yet. Is it good?
yeah, yeah, it's silly, but the idea is he plays a character similar to um, himself,
Okay.
but with other words, if he had just had Firefly and not any other success,
Yeah.
and so he's going to all these conventions,
Okay.
and Nathan Fillion plays this massive, successful
Star.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and they have kind of all the fun of fans wanting to get your signature while you're using the bathroom, and it plays up on conventions, the sometimes drudgery of doing conventions. They
Got
also
it.
show the fun, but it's
Right.
interesting. Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
it's silly.
I'm
Yes.
gonna have to check that out.
Hmm.
So if you're not familiar with Mr. Nobody, if you're not a fan of Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, Mr. Nobody is described as, quote, after exposure to unknown experiments by ex-Nazis in post-war Paraguay, the man formerly known as Eric Borden emerges as a living shadow able to drain the sanity of others as the enigmatic and totally insane Mr. Nobody. So what Grant Morrison did, he took this very obscure character that appeared in one issue of the 1960s Doom Patrol series
Okay.
and then reimagined him as this very surrealistic supervillain who ends up forming what's this group known as the Brotherhood of Dada, which was like a kind of a side thing to be separate from the Brotherhood of Evil. And so I'm curious to see if we'll get to see the Brotherhood of Dada on Doom Patrol.
Okay.
But if nothing else, yeah, Mr. Nobody. I'm curious to see how they're going to do it. I'm guessing they're going to have to do Mr. Nobody in CGI
Yes.
because he doesn't really have a standard physical form. Like it's described here as this kind of like abstract shadow.
Ooh.
So we'll see how they execute his character physically. But my guess would be CGI with Tudyk doing the voice.
All right, that'll work.
So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited about this because Tudyk is he's great. He's fun to listen to, and obviously he's done a bunch of voice work, so he's very comfortable with that, and should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. I'm very looking forward to Doom Patrol a lot. I can't wait to see the first trailer for that.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's gonna be, if you're a fan of like quirky offbeat shows, this is probably gonna be right up your alley. I'm guessing.
Yes.
All right. So anything else before we kind of tell people where to find us?
I can't think of anything. The plan is, as we talked about earlier, once this gets released,
Right.
we'll be talking about it every week.
Right.
We still are searching for fellow Titan Talkers to join us
Right.
to talk about their Titan Talk memories and to maybe share with us on a couple of special episodes that their thoughts of the series. But no, I just think that we're counting off the times.
Yeah. And if you're a Titans fan, we'd love to hear from you. What your thoughts are on the first trailer, and let us know what your thoughts are on this upcoming series because we want to hear. We want to gauge your reaction as well. So if you want to tell it to Titan Talk. You can reach us at titantalkcast@gmail.com. That's titantalkcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Just send us along your thoughts. And if you don't want to reach us there, you can reach us on Twitter at titantalkcast. We'd love to hear from you there as well. Please follow us there. We definitely appreciate that. Or you can follow us on Facebook at Titan Talk, the Titans Podcast. And please like us there as well. Because the more that we kind of we want to grow this community and kind of sharing the experience as we all watch the new Titan series together. So
Absolutely. Please go to iTunes to
Yep.
subscribe, rate, and review us.
Right.
So far, the only reviews are the ones that Charles and I wrote.
Yes. Which is
So-
kind of sad. So hopefully, yeah, if you're out there, yeah, we don't want to be just the only ones reviewing our own show.
Yeah.
So please, let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear from that. And it helps. And the more reviews we get, it helps people find us. So if you're a fan
Absolutely.
of the show, and hopefully you are, reviewing us on iTunes, on Apple Podcasts, or whatever, definitely helps people find us.
Absolutely. Charles, if they want to find you, how can they?
Well, obviously, if they want to find me, I definitely appreciate that. You can reach me at Charles Skaggs on Twitter and Instagram. Or you can reach me on Google Plus for you crazy kids on the Google Plus, or Facebook, of course, at Charles Skaggs and here in Ohio. I definitely appreciate that. Or my blog of geeky things.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Damn good coffee and hot, where I talk about Titans or Doom Patrol or all kinds of comic book sci-fi news and news of my other podcasts they do for the Southgate Media Group, including Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast that I do with Zan Sprouse, wife of comic book artist Chris Sprouse, or the Phantom Zone podcast they do with Karen Lindsay, friend of the show, and where we talk about comic book shows on TV, and with the occasional guest appearance by Jesse Jackson, hopefully, here in the near future.
Yes.
And then also the award-winning Next Stop Everywhere, the Doctor Who podcast that I do with a certain Jesse Jackson, where we talk about all things Doctor Who or Torchwood or the Sarah Jane Adventures, and as we gear up for the upcoming Series 11, starring Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor.
There's rumors going around about dates. There's rumors.
Yeah, yes, there
Nothing's
is.
set yet, but there is the rumors.
Yeah, rumors. So we could be theoretically like reviewing Doctor Who episodes and Titans episodes every week.
Yes.
At the same time.
We may have to block out 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. We may have to do a 2-hour block or at least a 2.5-hour block.
Yes.
Where, we could kind of knock out both shows at once, maybe.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking as well. Yes.
Of course, football season is coming along just to complicate things, too.
Exactly. Yes. So I can be reached at Jesse Jackson DFW on Twitter. I am also on Facebook, Jesse Jackson in Louisville, Texas. And you can hear me on Set Listing Bruce, the Bruce Springsteen podcast, where I talk to Bruce Springsteen fans throughout the world. This month, September, is the 3-year anniversary of me doing that show. I am having Zach from Southgate Media has had me on a couple of episodes of his podcast as I draw a blank on what it is, so I will cut it out.
Whoops.
Oops.
Yeah, that might be a little helpful if you want people to find you there.
Yeah, duh.
It's okay.
Anyway, so we would love to hear from you, because we do, this is something special to Charles and I. As much as we love Doctor Who, Titans is what brought us together, and so there is a lot of feeling of kind of destiny with this.
Yeah, as we talked about in our earlier episodes, we've been Titans fans since the 90s. We belong to a Titans fan group called Titan Talk, which is where the name of this show comes from. And it's just something we've always wanted to do together, and I'm really glad I get to share this with you, Jesse.
Me too, Charles. I think that's
something
all we've got. Right?
What?
Do we have anything else we need to cover?
I don't think so, unless there's anything else you want to cover. Otherwise, we'll see what news comes out between now and the premiere date. Otherwise, at the very least, you will see us in October.
Absolutely, but
for the very first episode of Titans.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure we'll talk one more time before that, but
yeah, if nothing else, this is kind of like as we learn more, maybe see another trailer, hopefully.
Right.
And as we kind of like prepare. So we'll try and get another episode out between now and the release date. So maybe sometime later in September.
Yes.
And so stay tuned there. But if nothing else, we'll definitely be back in October for the very first Titans episode, for episode 8. So come on back, hopefully sooner rather than later. And we will see you next time right here on Titan Talk, the Titans podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.